Okay, so looks like we have come on live as we wait for our viewers to join us. We will wait. Okay, yes, we have gone live. So I will like first. So as we wait for the notification to be sent to our viewers and as we wait for them to join us. Parthiban Yelumalai is watching. Yeah, thank you, Parthiban sir, for joining us. Please say something in the comment box today because this, as usual, I always talk like this. This, Suresh Balakrishnan, Vanakkam sir, Vanakkam, Vanakkam, Vanakkam. As usual, I always say, which is very true. Today, for some, it could be a bit controversial. I hope I don't say anything controversial. That's not my intention. I'm going to be very honest because of certain things. But sometimes honesty will hurt. But that's not our intention. We want to share what is important. Okay, Comedy Morgan. Vanakkam, 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 Comedy Morgan. Please share. Very important. ஏன்னா ரொம்ப ஆளுக்கு இந்த விஷயத்தை தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. They don't understand this topic. Who is a financial planner? Financial planningனா என்னன்னே தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. அவங்க நினைச்சா அதெல்லாம் கச்சாம்பூத்த வேலைன்னு. இது கச்சாம்பூத்த வேலை இல்ல சார். நான் கொஞ்சம் வேலை பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். எனக்கு தான் தெரியும். அதை ஃபீல் பண்றதுக்கே பாதி உயிர் போயிடும். But there is a reason why we do it. Yeah, so very important. So you understand what is financial planning is. It's a framework. It's a roadmap. According to me, half past. I call myself 6:30, 7:30, or whatever past what lah. Knowledge is because we have a Sifu in front of us, so I cannot talk too much. Nathan Pavade, Vanakkam, Vanakkam, Santi. Santi, Vanakkam. Yes, Vanakkam and Nandri, my dear friend. Yes, always thanks for your support. We have Dinagaran watching. Nandri. Who else? Kumar Manogaran is watching. Okay, Nandri. This again very important. Please pay attention. எது சரி என்னோட ப்ரோக்ராம் இனிமேல் பார்க்காம பரவாயில்லையா? இதை மட்டும் பார்த்துருங்க. முக்கியமா வாழ்க்கையில் நல்லா வந்துருங்க. ஓகே, வணக்கம் சார். வணக்கம் வணக்கம் வணக்கம். முக்கியமான we are about 3 minutes away. Yeah, like I say, it could be a bit not. I not want to say not liking, but these are facts. Like, it's something very important. Comedy Morgan, Hemanathan, KL, or 5 others are watching. Please share this to our people because they don't understand what is financial planning is all about. It is not a product which will solve all your problems. In Chinese, say yak kyok taksai. You need more kyok to kick. One leg cannot kick all. You must understand how many legs you need to kick. So you better listen, and better. What I'm saying is, it is so important. So please share. Please invite. Sondakara, Pandakara, Pakatu Udakara, Akatu Udakara, and let the Anapi call Pani 999 call Pani. Wangaya, Kelungo. Yenga Talayalta Yepri, Nigamata Moran Kelungo. So please invite as many people as possible. Rajasuki Govindan, Vanakkam, please say something. I know you're watching, but please say something in the chat room. And it is 9:05. As you're joining us, stay there. We are now going to listen to our sponsors for about 45 seconds. And then I will come back as my guest waits from our sponsors. Ladies
கவர்ச்சியற்ற கருவடைந்த உதடா அல்லது வறண்ட இதழா உங்களுக்காக கோல்டன் ஷைன் மேஜிக் லிப்ஸ்டிக். வறண்டு கருவடைந்த உதடும் பிங்க் ஆகும் அதிசயம் கோல்டன் ஷைன் மேஜிக் லிப்ஸ்டிக்கில் மட்டுமே. கோல்டன் ஷைன் மேஜிக் லிப்ஸ்டிக்.
கோல்டன் ஷைன்ல 10 யூனிட் மேஜிக் லிப்ஸ்டிக்ல பிசினஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாமா?
என்னது 10 மேஜிக் லிப்ஸ்டிக் வித்தா 200 வெள்ளி சம்பாதிக்கலாமா?
200 வெள்ளி சம்பாதிக்க அவ்வளவு ஈஸியா? முடியுமா? சாத்தியமா? எப்படி யோசிக்கிறீங்களா? பின்னாடியே வருது உங்களுக்கு பதில்.
எப்படின்னா, ஆன்லைன்ல நீங்க ஒரு பிசினஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றதுக்கு உங்க கையில ஒரு குவாலிட்டியான ப்ராடக்ட் இருக்கணும். ஸோ அந்த குவாலிட்டியான ப்ராடக்ட் கோல்டன் ஷைன்ல மேஜிக் லிப்ஸ்டிக் நிறைய பேருக்கு சொல்யூஷன் கொடுத்த ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட். அந்த ப்ராடக்ட் நீங்க ஒரு பிசினஸா ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றது எப்படின்னு நாங்க உங்களுக்கு கற்றுக் கொடுக்கறதுக்கு ரெடியா இருக்கோம். நீங்க எங்க டீமை கான்டாக்ட் பண்ணுங்க, உங்களுக்கு ஆன்சர் கிடைச்சிடும்.
Thank you so much. All the 16 of you are watching, none of you left. Very good. Thank you so much for staying back with us, because in about a minute we will go live. And like I said, please share this to as many people as possible, because you're going to get some form of consulting, some form of idea, some form of benefit to understand how you can manage your money and what are the areas you need to look into. Yeah. So the time is now 9:05 and the live starts. Who do I need to contact? We'll talk about it later, comedy. Yeah, Namachivaya Valga, Nathan Tan Valga, Ime Poludum Yen Nenjil, Ninga Dan Tal Valga, Hariom, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Sakti, Namaskaram, Vanakkam, Salam from Malaysia, and a great evening to all. Yeah, Vanakkam, Premima. Welcome to another topic on you and your money. And today, who is a financial planner? Before I introduce my guest, why I want to bring this topic is, when I go on live, a lot of people want to become my friends. And then I check their background before I allow. The moment I go into their background, they call themselves, I am a financial planner in this company. When the profile they have only joined the industry less than 2 weeks, and then they call themselves financial planners. I mean, எனக்கு காது குத்த கூடாது ஏன்னா ஏற்கனவே காது குத்தியாச்சு. So you must understand, financial planning is just because you're selling one single product. You are not a financial planner, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm not running you down. That's not my intention. My intention is to give an awareness of what is really financial planning is all about. And today, who else but a man, a legend, yeah, the founder and advisor to Blueprint Planning, a veteran in financial planning, the immediate past president of the Malaysian Financial Planners and Advisor, and author of the book Winning Strategy, on financial planning. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy and glad to introduce you my friend, K.R. Raju. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being with us today. And maybe I missed out a couple of things introducing you. Please say something about yourself before we go into the subject matter itself. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Kumar. Thank you. Really appreciate this opportunity. First and foremost, I've not been, doing talks and all that for some time. It has been a long time. I really went public because I was more focusing on the business and the group itself. And I was very privileged, basically, Kumar, on both your programs that you conduct every Wednesday and Sundays.
Yeah.
It so happened that I was following both your programs, and there's a lot of contribution, in terms of information by both yourself and Jandy. And I truly appreciate all those sharings. And I must say this very honestly, some of those speakers that you have invited and some of those things that you have shared was very useful, because we are all learning. And as far as learning is concerned, there's no end. And you brought it to the doorsteps. You can watch it via your phone, and thank you to technology. And I must say this, I felt, after following both your programs, I think I'm very much obliged to contribute as much as I can. So therefore, I think, you just invited me 2 days ago, despite I had to reschedule something today, but
thank you so much.
I felt, it's very important that I should, take this privilege to be part of your platform. So thank you very much, because I'm a very strong believer of sharing. I learn a lot from others through their sharing. I think this is the right time to give back.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking your time to go. Thank you for rescheduling your meetings to be with us today. I forgot something. I forgot my partner today, not with me, not because we had an argument and she's not next to me. She has to go and collect some awards. So she's away. So I am doing it all by myself. Today is a man talk, but it doesn't mean it's a man's talk. It's for everybody to listen. Now, so I want to start the first question. Who is a financial planner?
Okay, Kumar, just before I wanted to get into that, I
Yeah.
must say I come from a very strong insurance background.
Okay.
I started my career from the insurance business. And at this point of time, I'm very grateful and thankful for those who have helped me to be part of this great industry. The
Awesome.
insurance, right.
Awesome.
I got into it. But one of the opportunities I had was I believed in continuous studying. So I took up every related courses to the, as far as risk management is concerned,
Okay.
Malaysian Insurance Institute. And I felt that, after some of my roundtable meetings in US, I felt that the insurance industry was evolving to something even more greater. And that
Okay.
is what is known as financial planning today. And way back in the late 90s, I took up the CHFC program, which was offered by the American College via Malaysian Insurance Institute. And after having completed that CHFC program, which is very, very comprehensive, I felt that I can be of great use to all my clients and Malaysians at large. And that's how 15 years ago, I got involved in the financial planning business and the advisory business, having secured the Capital Market Services Act, Capital Market Services Representative license with the Securities Commission of Malaysia. So that's a bit of my background. Now today, since you gave me the topic about what is financial planning, who is a financial planner?
Yeah.
Having served in the industry itself as a Malaysian Financial Planner and Advisors Association's immediate past president, I've sat in the whole thing over the 15 years. I could see that the regulators are very concerned about using this designation as financial planner, financial advisor without the relevant license. Because if you look at the Capital Market Services Act 2007, it very clearly says in the definition that when you stand out to dispense financial advice or financial planning advice, so to speak, you must carry the Capital Market Services Representative license. And of late, the regulators are enforcing this, and some of the parties were called in, and investigations have started. So it's a bit of, I felt that to all my friends out there, I feel that I should bring this message across that if one should stand up to be a financial planner, then the act is very clear that you should carry the Capital Market Services Representative license. Now, I must say, the key people, the most important people, I must keep saying this, the most important people in the financial planning journey is definitely a insurance agent or an insurance person or investment product distributor. No, there's no doubt, two ways about it.
Okay.
So as what Kumar, you were mentioning, the objective of this presentation is not to run down anyone.
Yeah.
Because you are playing an important role, because without you, financial planning has, or financial plan has got no value. Because end of the day, we got to execute the plan,
Yeah.
the solutions. But what I'm trying to, I'm obliged to share with you today is the act is very clear, because there's many of them have been abusing this designation as financial planner, including there were cases where money lenders are using the word financial planner and financial consultant.
I like that. I like that. Alone become financial planners. Huh? Okay.
So probably,
Yeah, they plan how to save your life.
yeah. So probably I felt in this dialogue, I may be able to give you all some input, because I took up financial planning because I want to add value in the financial journey of my clients. Because just providing or undertaking the risk alone is not sufficient. I should move on to other related areas, and I should give them a comprehensive plan, and end of the day, the plan should provide solutions. That is the very reason I have to go through the entire process, spend a lot of money to take up the license so that I don't breach any of the country's. We got to play by the rules end of the day, because compliance is very important to follow. So that's a bit of a background I could give you as far as the license is concerned.
Okay. So
maybe
in a nutshell, what the message is, if you want to become a financial planner, there is some licensing things to be done. Yeah. Okay. We understand that you start with maybe an insurance service or investment. Yeah. A standalone single product services. Fine. Yeah. But financial planning is a total different ball game altogether. So some of you are listening. I hope, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe some of my words not right. But in the nutshell, that's what it means. So why financial planning now? Now we know if you want to call yourself a financial planner, you have to go through a certain exams, certain qualifications, certain papers that you need to do to get that designation. Okay, fine. Huh? So some of you, because many people, you must understand, financial planner is something else. If you're an agent of a services of a product, you are not a financial planner. Yeah. Okay. Did I say it correctly, sir? Yeah,
you're spot on, Kumar.
Okay. So very good. Now, many people don't understand this financial planning, or it's all about why they should do, why shouldn't do. Maybe this is not my right question, but why must someone do financial planning? Why must they get a professional, a qualified financial planner?
Now, if you may allow me, Kumar, I'll answer that. But just before that, quickly, I would want to give, because I do not want to create any fear, or, it's just not rocket science to become a financial planner.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something, you just have to understand and just move on. So I would like to go to the next slide, which gives you the requirement to become a licensed financial planner. Yeah. Basically, what is required is a degree, and you must have qualifications like RFP, CFP, or CHFC, or the IFP, Islamic Financial Planning.
Okay.
And you got to be fit and proper, where you don't have issues with CTOS or secret. So basically, that is a requirement. And just to give you some numbers, in our country, approximately there are only 963. This is as said yesterday.
Okay.
There are only 963 licensed financial planners who carry the capital market services representative license.
Okay.
So basically, this input would be, I feel, will be useful. Then I can answer your next question. If you have anything, you can just.
Okay. So minimum, you must have a degree.
Yes.
Then you must sit for the.
Even if there is a diploma, there is a qualifying exam that they can do in order to take up their CFP and RFP. So those requirements they can check with the respective providers, like the Financial Planning Association of Malaysia. They can also check with the Malaysian Financial Planning Council. They will give all the relevant. They will go through your CV, your working experience.
Okay.
So all that will help.
Okay. All right. Okay. So with your experience, you can get some, I guess, some credit hours and stuff like that. Like an executive MBA, you have maybe you have a diploma or a certificate, but you have clocked in so many hours. You get certain credit hours, and then you can do your executive MBA or MBA or whatever. All right. Next, would like to go to the next slide. The role of a licensed financial planner.
Okay. So I think there will be no more controversy after this. We're not going to get into any more areas. Not to worry, Kumar. I mean,
it is not a difficult thing. It is not a difficult thing. It can be done. Like you rightfully say, it is rocket science. People might not understand that there is a process to this. Yeah, and that's the process.
Right. Okay. So now we go to the gist of this whole thing. I like this tagline, Kumar, which you have mentioned a number of times in your presentations. That is, in every Malaysian household, a home, there must be a financial planner or an advisor. Yeah. I really, I just want to expand that. It's not only a financial planner in every home, but there must be a financial plan in every home.
Okay.
Right. Having said this, to me, I also like the other thing where in all your sharing, I just have to use your examples, because most of the followers would have listened to you. I've also heard many a times you have been very open. You've never been discreet about during the crisis, how you lost your money, and you even mentioned amount of money that you have lost. And when we look at all this, when I go through this whole process of what a financial plan is all about, what is this document all about, you will see the tremendous value it can bring in the lives of people. More so during this pandemic, where uncertainties are just there. We never anticipated these things to happen. So
Okay.
what a financial plan actually carries, if I can just quote two analogies. One is a Waze. When you wanted to go to a particular destination, you switch on your Waze. And when you switch on your Waze, it exactly tells you what time you will reach there. And it will also tell you if there's any roadworks going on, it will guide you to a proper lane, so that you can reach the destination at the designated time. And not only that, of course, I'm in Malaysia, even there are cops standing anywhere. If there are anyone who have already notified in Waze, you will also know there are police cops, so you can control your speed limits and all that. Now, I think that would be a very appropriate analogy as far as what a financial plan is all about. Because in our lives, we have financial goals and objectives, dreams and aspirations. All right. We look at how we would want to provide education to our children. And that requires planning, because cost of education is not cheap, And we would want to upgrade probably a home. You want to buy a home, maybe from a terrace house. You want to buy a double story, from a double story to a bungalow. You want to upgrade your car. You want to give a vacation to your loved ones or yourself. And if you're a sandwich generation, I wrote an article in some of the medias, and I've seen that the challenges a sandwich generation actually faces, because they have their parents to take care, the spouse parents to take care, they have to take care of their retirement, they have to take care of their children's education. So all these goals are established, well defined, and broken down into short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals in that document. That's why when you keep saying that, when I say that financial plan, that document is a very, very important document in everyone's home, because it clearly defines and spells out what you are looking at as far as your financial goals and objectives, your destination is all about, how you want to retire, what kind of education you want to provide, what kind of lifestyle you are going to give to your family and children. So even when we were young, we were all told, if you have goals, please write it down. You can't say, yes, I want to become successful, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Our parents, our grandparents, our teachers, everyone has told us that if you have any goals, write it down. So what a financial plan does, the first thing is it actually establishes and defines all your short-term, mid-term, long-term goals in a form of a very valuable document. That's the first thing it hits.
Mr. Raju, I want to share with you this morning, I conducted a training for young entrepreneurs organized by SME Corp. And one of those things is, I asked why sometimes you cannot grow the business, because these were Bhumiputra participants. Some of them say, what are some of the things that you like to control? They say, membazir duit. Membazir, that was the keyword, membazir duit. For me, why membazir duit is because you don't know what is your goal. You go and simply spend. The reason is because you don't have a clear goal. What are you going to do with the money? If you have $1,000, you simply go to spend because you don't know. But if the person has a clear goal, like what you rightfully say, spelled out, you will know exactly, if I have $1,000 extra, where is going to go. Clearly, you know. Otherwise, you simply spend the money away because there's no clarity. Like what you say, mid-term, short-term, long-term. Tada! So what happened to all the money you spent at 55, 60 years old? Tatao, so gone. So this is you are just helping me to think what I shared with them this morning. Continue, sir.
Right. So the challenges today, as a nation, it's a lot. I mean, unlike those days, cost of education was, the public schools were very good in the country. So we don't really need to send our kids to private schools. All right. And you
Sensitive
got
topic to touch.
Right. So the need, to plan for this and fund this particular objective is very important,
Yeah.
because this involves the life of our children, the future of our
Yes.
children, the dreams and aspirations of our children.
Agree.
So it's a very, very serious subject, number one. Number two, unlike those days, of course, for parents, the children are their, it was more or less there, the children will take care of them. Now,
Taken
of course,
for
I'm
granted,
not,
huh?
now, of course, I'm not saying that children are no good, but their situation is different.
Yes,
They,
agree.
they have their career, they have to take care of themselves, their children. It's no longer like we were living in a small community in a kampung or an estate, rural area where everyone is there. You don't need a babysitter, you don't need a maid. Things were very different then. But now there is a requirement that you should be planning for your retirement. All right. So therefore, this is a very serious thing, and a financial planner can really sit down with you, and will be able to define this very clearly and get the first thing that you can get yourself started. So that's the first stage as far as financial planning is concerned. So some of you all, if you have a perception, oh, financial planning is just sit down with someone and sell some health insurance, sell some critical illness insurance, that's just one small key part of it,
One component, can I say it's a component, one component of the entire framework which
Right.
they need to look at. Yeah. Can I say that?
Yeah, you're right. So similarly, investments is also the same thing. When you invest, there must be an investment objective. What's the purpose of that investment? If you're buying a number of properties, you can only live in one property. That is your personal use asset, we call it. You live in your home. But what about the rest? What is the purpose of buying this? Is it meant?
Oh, I tell you this. I tell you, many people don't know why they buy the property for.
Yeah.
They call it investment, but they are not clear whether it's for capital gain or whether it's for cash flow. They don't understand.
Right.
Nobody guides them. And then they get into trouble when there is a situation.
Right. And today, you said it correctly, Kumar, today, many of them who have invested in properties, because when we do a financial plan for clients and start listing assets, as far as Malaysians are concerned, close to 40 to 60% generally of their asset holding is properties.
Yeah.
And today you can see the property market. In commercial properties, businesses are locked down. They have mortgages to pay, and there's no tenants there, and they don't have rental income. So these things have to be mitigated, and that can only be navigated through a proper financial plan. So
Yes.
the next stage, what we do is, after having established the financial goals and objectives, define them very clearly, which is a very extensive exercise, very important thing to do. Next, we will go out detailing or listing of all assets. So if it is properties, number of properties they have, if they have investments, say unit trust, how much unit trust they have, if they have FDs, well, how much FDs do they have? All right. So we list down all your jewelries, collectibles, anything, all assets,
Shares, stocks, bonds.
yeah, CDS accounts, bonds, everything. We will sit down, go through in detail. And I must share, over the last 1.5 decades of our experience, sometimes they just can't even recollect, the assets, and documents are not there, titles are missing, and if they may have completed payment, but they have not done the discharge, redemption. So there's a lot of issues when we start digging in that, getting into that area. Not only that, now we have a SOP. When we onboard a client, first thing we do is we will get their IC number and get into unclaimed money. Do you know the amount of unclaimed money that is being there? Because people don't, they've moved out from a place, they have some assets, and these assets were not claimed, and it goes to unclaimed money. And we have discovered a lot of money in unclaimed money being just left there. So the stage 2 is listing of all assets. Then
can I just intervene for a while and say, some of them here who are listening, they might be, put some perspective into their mind. It also has happened to me. they chase new money, forgetting to manage the old money they have already created.
Right.
Yeah. This new money, you're not even sure whether you can get this new money or not. But this old money, which can do, I mean, I don't know, old money, new money, if that makes sense or not. But the existing asset that you have, it can make you so much more money. And some of us are not using that money to work for you. Can I say that?
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. Right. So the phase 2 of the whole exercise is listing of all assets. Then we move on to liabilities, whatever liabilities are. And today we are driving this whole thing in through systems. So it's very simple. We just have to you have to just log in and then key in all these informations. Then we also go into the cash flow, which is very important. It so happen, Kumar,
Yeah.
this, if you all can remember this Tiga Lima book,
Oh.
those
Must
days.
put it in front a bit.
Okay.
Okay. Buku 35, yes.
Buku 35, those days we use this to write what is the income, expenses, every day how much you spend.
Chettiar's buku. Chettiar's book.
So, I mean, the cash flow.
Yeah.
Cash flow is so important that we must
Yeah.
know what is the inflow, what is the outflow, and so that is done in the financial plan. So, if I may say, you want to get the perspective right of who a financial planner is, the role of a financial planner is, this is exactly what he needs to do. So from there, we know whether there's any leakages, whether there's surplus or deficit, all this will be detected. And then the stage 3, we go into analyzing it. So from the, what you call asset listing, liability listing, we will be able to construct a net worth statement. From the net worth statement, we will be able to see whether the assets that they have is generating the expected ROI or not. Can these assets help them achieve all those goals that has been established or not? Short-term, mid-term, long-term. So the assets are the ones who are going to help achieve your goals. So from there, because some of that, I have this, I have that, in the event my son or daughter goes overseas to study, I can sell that property and take that money and then pay for it. But all this is just, thoughts.
Assumptions.
And today, assuming your child wants to go abroad or you need the money now, you can't dispose properties easily today.
Agree.
So you see, right?
You can dispose, but 30% discount, 40% discount. Probably if you sell, money is enough for you to settle your outstanding loan.
I must say the last, ever since the pandemic, COVID-19, we are onboarding a lot of clients coming to us, reviewing, wanting to understand where they are. They are very concerned about these challenges, and we are trying to fix, realign the entire situation, reorganize. So the third phase is actually analyzing all these data that we have collected. Thereafter, we go into recommendations. Now, this is the interesting part. When we do the recommendations, this is good news for all insurance agents or those who are in the insurance practice. Now, when we do the analysis, the first thing that we actually look at is the risk the person is exposed to, whether the risk has been mitigated or not. What is the first risk? Now, your ability to earn in an income is going to facilitate your financial journey. Yeah. Your financial journey means nothing if your ability to generate an income is no longer there. This is the most critical part. So here, death that comes with income replacement, premature death, right? Total and permanent disability, critical illness, now more importantly, your health insurance. If your health insurance is not in perspective, in place, what's going to happen is you're going to dispose assets which is meant for some other objectives and purposes.
Yeah.
So the analysis and our recommendation will first look at the risk that you are exposed to, and if there is any shortfalls. And for this, I can give you an analogy of a medical screening that you do. You go and do your full blood profile. It actually, all the asterisks with red tells you all your defects.
Yeah.
So likewise, your defects on the risk part will be very clearly, seen in the analysis. The next part would be your investments, whether your properties, your unit trusts, all that assets that you have, whether it is the inflation we say is about 4.5%. And if you are generating a return of say 3% or 4% or 5% or even 6% or 7%, even 7% for that matter, you are not hedging against the inflation.
Yeah.
So you have to look at your risk appetite. So whether you have the risk profile, we do a risk profiling. Once we have done that, whether you are in a position to take a bit more risk, because the higher the risk, the higher can be the returns.
Yeah.
So
of
that
course.
is where the analysis comes in, the recommendation comes in. And the last part would be all the assets that you have. In the event death were to take place, you need to facilitate a probate, and that can only be done if you have written a will. So
Yeah.
will writing is just not, again, it is not just solving the problem. You need to have an estate planning advice. All right, how these assets that have accumulated over the years are going to be distributed. So the advice again comes from a financial planner. All right, so in short, what a financial plan is, what the role of a financial planner is, the PAP. I call it the PAP. It's not the People's Action Party of Singapore. All right. PAP actually means first do the plan. Once you have done the plan, which encompasses all these areas, then dispense advice. Once you dispense the advice, thereafter, the other P stands for products. Then you execute this with products. Therefore, you will be able to provide comprehensive and holistic solution and help navigate the client walk through his financial journey safe and sound.
In simple sense, I would like to summarize this and correct me if I'm wrong. What is the job of a financial planner is to find the gap that exists from point A to point B. Many of us want to reach from point A to point B. We have big dreams for ourselves, for our children, for our spouse. That's the point you want to reach. But you also understand there's a gap. Now, how do you mitigate this gap? How do you close this gap? How do you move from point A to point B in the safest, fastest manner possible?
Right.
Can I say that?
Exactly. You are there.
And that's what financial planning does. அததாயா போய் கத்துக்க சொல்றேன் ஏன் கேக்குறான் போய் கத்துக்கறா ஐயோ ஐயோ வந்துட்டாயா துணிய காணோம் ஓடுறீங்க. What is this is something that I really again I want to repeat as it takes a break. Let me come in and say every family, every household, every bond must have a financial planner. Again, I want to repeat. The career is an option. The skill is not. Yeah. Otherwise, everything has a price to pay. You may need to pray. We hope and pray that situation doesn't fall on your laps. But if you don't, somewhere along the line, we need to pay the price. So just like our health. Yeah, we need to go out, see at a certain age, we start to see our doctor to do our medical check every year. And you find a gap and you say, hey, your sugar is going to be very high, better start taking care. Then you do correctly, your heartbeat doesn't seem to be very good. Please check. So you know how to mitigate this. Now, doctor, then we get into trouble. Yeah. So I think I will summarize that in that manner. So continue, sir.
Yeah. So I feel that it's like a very exciting conversation we are having, Kumar, especially having you there. Since you have also shared your personal challenges during some crisis, and if at all I'm going to leave behind something with you guys, who are watching this or later you're going to watch through the FB, the journey of life. There are ups and downs. We hear of that. There's a lot of uncertainties. It can be an issue of death. I must say, I was the eldest in my family. I treat all of y'all as as my friends. There's nothing discreet about it. I lost my dad when I was only 16 years old, and elders in the family. My dad died at a very early age, and challenges were just in front of us. Things were so uncertain, very dark. I remember one of your guests the last time is a young boy, you know, he said the same thing. I was virtually on tears when he was sharing that through your program, because I
Oh,
can
yeah.
clearly,
Okay. All right. No.
I clearly can understand what he could have gone through. And that was the
Javin, yeah.
same similar situation that I was in. Right. And moving on, my mom, she was also not well, and you know, she had kind of an illness where it needs a lot of care, a lot of you know. So during this period, I mean, that is why I'm always say thank God I was blessed to get into the financial services industry, starting from insurance. So the good news to all my friends who are viewers who can be in the insurance practice, no, you guys are very important. Or even the unit trust guys who are involved, very important. But what we want, what I personally feel, that you can add a lot of value. There are situations where some of our clients, many a times they go to banks, you know, I mean, I'm sorry, I can't mention the names of banks. They have been just pushed with some products, and, you know, all this were properly, you know, the whole process was not clearly done. And, you know, and they have lost money, and they come back and they wanted to, you know, they want the funds quickly to support certain issues. So there's a lot of things you and I can go out there and help our existing clients now. All right. So I mean, just do it, because with an intention of you wanting to help, just help, and you're going to get what you're that was exactly what I started looking at when I had personal experiences. My dad, my mom, I mean, for some of my friends, you know, I also with my wife, you know. So it's life's journey. Life's journey is very uncertain, and today the pandemic, it's so uncertain. And if we don't plan, if we don't address this thing about, I mean, of course, life consists of many things. It's not just the financial part of our life, but of course, mental hygiene at this point of time. The other thing I keep, that's what I say, I'm a very good follower, loyal follower of Kumar. The Sunday programs that he conducts, you got to attend, because it's about spiritualism. And, you know, we, at this point of time, when challenges are too many, it's so uncertain, we need a shoulder. We need a shoulder to put ourselves on. What is that? The most reliable shoulder you can ever think of is spiritual values. You know, so the uncertainties that we see in our lives, you have to address that financial journey of yours. It's so important, because it can lead to a lot of issues, complications, if you have not planned very well. So the financial plan basically take you through this whole thing. And in terms of the concept of it, in a nutshell, for you to take home, is the PAT. That is, first thing, you got to mitigate the risk that they're exposed to. Then you got to help them fund their financial goals and objectives as per the risk appetite they have, to make sure the assets can perform, to help them. Finally, you execute in the form of estate planning advice, so that you can facilitate in terms of getting a probate, so you can get it quickly to transfer the assets out. So PAT and PAP. PAP is more on the role of a financial planner. PAT is a scope of work. So generally, these are concerns that you may want to seriously look at. And you know, and our clients need more than what the products that we have. They actually need more than that. And with all the experiences that some of us may have, who have got into this particular industry, financial services industry, in a broad perspective, you can do a lot in the lives of people. All right, you can actually go in and install a Waze, a financial Waze inside, so that they can navigate their life smoothly. And you do reviews every 6 months, annually, you know, you do reviews and walk them through. And when you put your client's interest first and help them, let me tell you, you're going to be very successful in your practice.
I think it is not only that, sir, it's also will allow them to see where they will be. You know, these numbers and all that, it excites you, because it will tell you what can happen in 5 years' time, what will happen in 10 years' time, what can happen in 15 years' time. If nothing happens, Where will you be exactly with all these numbers, with the interest rate plugged in and all that? I'm sure you know this whole works. I'm going to go into details. So that will allow you to know exactly what your money is going to do for you. So there will be never an event where you waste money. Like this morning, Mambaze duit, no chance. Yeah, even if you Mambaze duit, you know why you are Mambaze this duit, because that's an extra dollar you got it from somewhere, which is not part of the track that you are building.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Anything next?
Okay.
We have about 15 minutes.
Okay. Since we have 15 minutes, I just want to give you the final document that
Okay.
every home, including, I must also say, we have clients who are also very successful in the insurance industry, the unit trust industry. They have appointed us to look at their financial situation. I think it's very important that when we provide financial services solution to our clients, our financial home has to be neat and tidy. So I felt that I should share this document with you.
Agree. Absolutely correct. Spot on. Yes.
So if Kumar, you can help me just go through the sample of the financial plan which I just shared with Dave.
Okay. Correct. This is the one.
Yeah, this is the one. So basically, this is what a comprehensive financial plan is all about.
I need to move around for
No,
the guys.
it's okay.
Okay. Okay.
So again, Dave, you can scroll up slowly. Okay. Now let's look at the contents of it. If you look at the contents of it, once this whole exercise is done, right? When we walk you through, it's quite a tedious process, but you got to go through this pain because you got to start looking for all the documents, your titles, your FD certs, your savings. You got to go and look. Some of them will go while searching, you know. So I always tell them, hey, look, Mike, you are around. Whilst you are alive, kicking around, you're finding it difficult to find the documents. Can you imagine if something would happen to you, your spouse will be having a terrible time for looking for all these documents, all right? So what will happen is, this is going to be, to complete this plan, it's going to be a bit challenging and tedious. But once you have done that, the following reviews are going to be very much easy because the systems are there with you. You can just make the adjustments, and the advisor, the planner, will be able to guide you from time to time. So the contents of it will be, Dave, can you go back to the... Go back. So you can see all your goals and objectives. This is a very, sometimes 40, 50 pages. All right. And it's all in soft copies, not to worry. So your goals and objectives were all being defined and crystallized, and it is a very personal, customized document.
So can the numbers be played? For example, I want to do something different. Can I adjust myself to see where I will be? Now I've got a different set, or do I all the time need a financial planner to advise me? Because this document that you give, the soft copy, can I kind of say, maybe I got an extra bonus or a windfall from somewhere, and can I use that and plug in and see how I can shorten my journey and stuff like that? Is that possible?
How you can shorten the journey and all that may be a bit of a challenge. Now, what you can actually do in terms of assets and liabilities, you can actually make the adjustments, and the cash flows, you can make some adjustments if there is any change. Okay. And then it has to still come back to the advisor. That is where, see, the annual review, it's not just annual. It can be anytime, assuming something happened in the family. So you got to do a review. It can be 1 month later after writing the plan.
If you have a windfall somewhere, you strike welfare, or made $1 million or $2 million, or you didn't know a long lost auntie left you at $5 million. If you want to pluck it, so you bring in the advisor. So you don't have to wait for a year. You can bring him or her to help you to look at it and see how you can, now you know where your goals are, how your goals can be shorter now, with this windfall example. Okay. All right. Okay.
So then you go into your net worth, and then we go to the cash flow. Then the investment analysis will be there. Now, this investment analysis is where, you see, when you invest, there are sometimes, we go through a platform, there are many funds there. So then you need some form of expertise to do the rebalancing, switching and all that. So that will also be done. And your tax, I think that was a very interesting talk by Mr. Ranga. That was very good.
Yes.
So, so tax, basically the planning is required. Then you go into your wills and trusts. If there's any changes, executor has passed away or whatever. So review. So it's not just one off. It's kind of a review from. So this would be basically the contents. So next page, Dave, since we are running short of time, the next page.
Oh, okay, we have 10 more minutes.
All right. So this would be the cash flow. Cash flow goes into everything, right from your groceries, your internet services, your cell phones, your dependent care, your personal care, your medical care, every little thing. Even there are no items listed there, we create a code for you to put in there.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And this can be adjusted, and from time to time you adjust. And if there's surplus, it's good news. So you can use the surplus to fund the investment objective. All right. Then you can scroll this up, Dave, go up. And then
this is what I've been talking about. One of my talks, I asked them, how many of you know what is your P&L for the particular month? Most people don't know what was the P&L. So if you don't know your P&L, how do you create, a saving or a wealth plan or whatever you like to call it? Because imagine a company doesn't even know how much they made money last month, asking for trouble. Yeah. So this is an awesome tool. I guess you can help you to recognize where it is leak. Where are you every month, whether you're minus or plus.
And if this can be done every month, you will be very happy, excited, because there's no trouble. Sometimes if you don't do it, you may be all right, but there's already fear in you that something is not all right.
Yeah. No, if you have too much of money coming from all over the place, you know whether it is, when you have too much. I used to do this when I was younger days. I had actually like a book just like that, but it was a piece of paper. I think I showed them previously. I wrote every expenses. Car park ticket also I write down. Pencil, I buy sweet also I write down. So every month I know what's my P&L. But after some time, okay lah, boleh tahan lah. Okay lah, I know that it's positive. But how much positive, I do not know. But I think it's very important to know whether every month you're in a negative situation, because that can be very challenging if you don't organize that. Can I say that?
Yes, yeah. So even those parents who, it'll be great if we can slowly, expose our kids to this, because things are going to be very different in the next 3 to 5 years. It's going to be very different. So even we can train them, and if this becomes part of their habits, it can help them tremendously, right? So Dave, we can move up to the
next one, Dave.
Next slide, you get an executive summary. So from here, the summary will tell you whether, this is the goals, your child's education, whether it's possible to get that amount, your second child to get a degree, whether it is possible, what is the gap, and by 2021 or 2022, what would be the amount and where to look for the money. All right. So all this will be spelled out in the executive summary. Right. Next would be the asset liability. If you look at it, one of the things that I want to share with you, let me tell you this good news. Every one of our clients, after having done the plan, every year when we do the review, their net worth has improved. I must say this, because they discovered a lot of leakages. They made sure that some of the assets that were not performing, they got rid of it, right? And they brought down their bank loans, mortgages were canceled, so they were happy. So every one of them, I must say, generally, after having written the plan, their net worth actually improved tremendously.
Is mortgage reduction part of financial planning?
Of course, because it's about debt cancellation. It's about debt cancellation, and mortgages basically attract quite a high amount of interest. So if you are investing, if you are investing somewhere else, like for example, you take money from your credit card. It's 18 to 21%. Tell me one investment that gives you 18 to 21%. And if a guy has got a substantial amount of outstanding credit card and he comes and sees me, hey, look here, Mike, I want to invest. I tell them, I'll give you 18% guaranteed. I've done this, and the guy says, 18% guaranteed? How are you going to do that? Go and settle your credit card now. That money you have brought to me to invest, because I can't give you 18%. I can't give you 18% returns per annum. So you go and settle that. So these are things, the reshuffling, reorganizing, all that actually takes place. So we can move up. All right,
Okay,
we have
thanks.
6 more minutes. Okay, we move up. That is more on the cash flow. Cash flow also will show the surplus. So what will happen when we find even small amount of surpluses, say
Okay.
$1,000 or $2,000, it's surplus, it's hanging. What we do, we pull that out to fund a particular investment objective. So what will happen is that particular investment will be effectively funded. You can achieve it faster. Because from the surplus, we can come up with a regular investment structure and program. So you
So
can sell
there will never happen a situation where there is unnecessary expenses happening,
Right.
because every money is planned to work the best for you. Can I
Right.
say that?
Yes. So what we also do, Kumar, in the entire structure of the cash
Yeah.
flow is we also keep 6 to 8 months. Now, during the pandemic, we recommended about 9 months of your income to be kept in an emergency funding account.
No.
So once
Reserve
that
fund,
is
huh?
already there, so for emergency issues, you have already got enough funding. So then whatever surplus, hey, come on, Mike, you can put it in, take some risk, right? So when we sell investments, when we sell insurance, if you don't know the situation of the client, we may be doing something really, really wrong, which will not benefit you, will not benefit the client. That's what a financial plan exactly can do for you. And I must also tell you, I'm known in the industry that I sell a lot of large life insurance policies, and even to qualify for the round table, I think I'm one of the very few. I don't blow my own trumpet, where I get into doing business insurance, shareholders protection plans, and it has helped many of our clients, to understand, because conceptually they understand the risk that they're exposed to, they realize, and for them, when they see that, wow, you will be able to execute with large amount of premiums, a large amount of investments. So what I'm suggesting is, put the product last, put the plan first, then advice, then product. And that's what PAP is all about. And this plan will be able to help you to do much better in whatever you are doing. And while you are doing this, keep upgrading yourself. The clients too can learn. They too got to increase your financial literacy level. There's a lot of financial literacy programs going on from time to time. I mean, we don't mind contributing through a lot of other sources. AKPK, many organizations are doing this. So the client's financial literacy level will also increase. Service providers' financial level also will increase. So this will help our nation to benefit tremendously. So basically, this is the cash flow. Okay, I think we can go up. Dave, yeah, can move it up. So this is the good news for the insurance. We can basically see what is the shortfall here. This is a sample. This is a real case, but we put there Mr. X. This guy requires 2 over million in cover. We gave him 2 million. What? Probably it's a term cover, the various companies they use. Critical illness, he requires how much? Early critical illness, okay, how much? Room and board, 300 ringgit, because of looking at his lifestyle. So the whole thing, not only for him, his spouse, you can go up, Dave, his children, right? You can pull the slide up, right? So for the children, child 1, child 2, child 3. So the entire risk management report will be generated from this plan. Similarly, it happens to investment. Similarly, it happened to wills, your estate planning and all that, because sometimes in the case of wills, one property they put into 3 children's names. Do you know what would be the outcome of this if something were to happen? If you all know the case of Uncle Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore, of that particular property,
Yeah.
that is the kind of conflict and issues that the deceased family will face. So that's where planning advice is required. Don't just go in, oh, I'm selling a will. I'll give you a will. Okay, write a will, problem solved. No, it doesn't solve the problem. Actually, it creates more problem. If I may be very hard on my comments, yes, because might as well you go and get an LA and challenge it out rather than creating this dispute. So a planning advice is required. Products, yes, of course. End of the day, if you want to cure illness, after your medical screening and examination, you got to take medication. You got to take medicine. Likewise, products are important. Our product providers, they will tell us to go and sell and sell and sell and sell, because that's what their function is.
Yes.
But for us, our clients are important. All right. So that would be on the insurance side. So for those who are in the insurance practice, not to worry. It's very exciting moments ahead of you. Next is the investment.
What we are saying is not that their services are not relevant. It is very relevant, but do it in a proper manner so that it benefits all parties.
Right. Okay. So Dave, is there any other slides there after this? I think that's the sample of
Any
the
other,
plan.
any other,
Okay, you can move up after the risk part. Okay, I think.
okay.
Okay. Okay. I think spot on. It's exactly 9. I mean,
Exactly
sorry,
10.
10
Yeah,
p.m.
thank you. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much. But before I say thank to you,
There is
thanks to
any
you,
Q&A, Kumar, if you want to allow.
anybody
one
would
or
like
two.
to ask question? Yeah, please feel free to ask question. Today you get free consulting work. Yeah, please ask. It won't cost you money. So ask and we will be able to answer. But as usual, we always close with a question and the sponsors. And today we have an additional gift to give away. That's an ebook. Yeah, it's an ebook from Mr. Raju to be given away. So you get my book, you get the ebook, you get my 1-hour coaching plus the lipstick worth 89 ringgit from our sponsor, Golden Shine. The question is going to be very simple. Huh? It's not going to be very difficult. Yeah, is because if I ask whatever he says, some of you will crack, will crack your head and not be able to answer because it is deep. Now the question is, what? As usual, you know, huh? The one who answers first on my wall, not the one that you see on your wall. On the wall will win this. Yeah, Comedy, we still owe you contact. We will be contacting you soon. Send me your email, send me your address to send the gift to you. All right. So the question is this: what is the name of the company that Mr. Raju represent? If you can't see, I check you. I tell you, huh? Okay. What is the name of the company that Mr. Raju represent? If you cannot see, I check you. So let's see the first person to answer on the chat room before we do our closing. Meera Nathan, yeah, Blueprint. Of course, you are the winner. So we know you, so you'll be getting those gifts from us. Allama Padma, lambat sikit lah. Blue, that one was answered. Yeah, okay. Sorry, the winner is Meera Nathan. She is the winner. All right. The rest of you, sorry, lambat sikit. So, Mr. Raju, closing address, closing statement from you.
Right. Once again, Kumar, thank you very much. If
Pleasure.
if I would like to conclude this session, I must say this, and that get this document up and running immediately. I'm not trying to sell anything. Even you can engage, you know, if there are other service providers from other companies who do plans, because we focus on PAP model. I'm not here to comment about the rest of the companies. If you can find anyone who can do this for you, please do it before buying any financial products and services. Then you buy. After that, you buy. Thereafter, you will be get the solution. So that's all I want to say. This, not to worry. Wish you all the best, and this is the right time to get a plan basically done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So simple advice is do your check, do your health check, do your financial check, and then you find the medicine. Whatever medicine you require, that is decision later. Not buy the medicine and say, what is my sickness? So it doesn't work that way. So that's in a simple nutshell, that was with Sir. So I'd like to thank Mr. Raju for taking his time to be with us and sharing his information. I'd like to thank all of you viewers who have been with us, and some of you have been die-hard, have been watching this for the last 1 hour. Thank you so much. We hope we have added value to you. And remember, yeah, it's money, your hard-earned money need to be managed properly. And on every Wednesday, we are here. We are doing our best to help you to learn how to manage your money the best that you can. With that note, thank you so much. Remember, you and your money is on every Wednesday 905. With that note, thank you so much. Stay happy, stay blessed. Thank you, people. Thank you, viewers.
Thank you very
so
much, and all the best. Cheers.
Thank you.